We're live now.
We're live right now, ladies and
Hello, everyone.
Morning from Manila and good evening
So we
from
can share now our live.
Good
you guys
morning.
are actually
Morning to you
sharing,
guys.
Morning. Yeah, okay.
sharing the live right now.
Yeah, I'm sharing right now.
By the way, this is Amir, and this is me, Stefan, and this is Drew, and our special guest. Guys, introduce our very special guest.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to start it now, okay?
Take it away, Amir.
Okay, hello everyone. Good morning from Manila. Welcome back again to another episode of Missosology Beauty Talks. My name is Amir Emir. I'm with Drew Francisco and Stephen Diaz. Okay, hi Stephen.
Hi, hello.
And without any further ado, let me introduce to you our very special guest all the way from Puerto Rico, the most beautiful Miss Supranational 2018 for me, Miss Valeria Vazquez with a Z.
Thanks. Thanks for that wonderful introduction.
Yeah,
so
of
nice
course.
to finally be here, and I'm honored to be part of the Beauty Talks with Missosology.
Yeah,
It's also
finally.
our honor to have you in our Missosology. So Valeria, how are you now?
Well, I'm fine. I'm happy I'm done with school for now, and I'm just heading into summer. Restrictions are going a little bit down in Puerto Rico, so I can finally enjoy the tropical island and tropical paradise we have here. And yeah, I'm ready to head on to other things in life than just studying.
Oh, nice to know that.
And you guys, how are all of you?
We're good.
Just woke up.
Last night we
For
had another
you.
episode of Missosology last night. And yeah, Drew, you have a question?
Yeah, so during the lockdown, some people said that they have unlocked some new skills. Do you have anything to share? Like something that you have discovered about yourself?
I mean, it's not like I've been able to do much because literally since the lockdown started, I've been just studying all the time. It got a little bit harder than just studying at school because we had a lot more stuff to do online. So I didn't have that much time, but I think, well, I've been kind of seeing makeup tutorials and stuff on internet, and I've been trying to perfect and change the way I do my makeup every time I do it. So I think that's maybe a skill that I've gotten better a little bit when I have free time. But yeah, I mean, now maybe on in just like few more weeks and months, I can tell you maybe something new.
Nice to know.
But you really don't need that much makeup, Valeria. You're so beautiful.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I observe you have a curly hair
You're gonna
right
make me
now.
blush even though I have foundation.
Sorry? You have like you have a shorter hair right now.
Yes.
Oh, not really. It's just that it's in
Oh.
It just goes in scales.
Yes.
Okay.
But well, for sure during the not competition, during my trips, I did have a little bit of much more hair and longer hair, though it was supposed to be the same length, but a little bit more. So maybe that's why it looks longer, because I had extensions.
You had the extension. Yeah, I was thinking about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's all natural.
Yeah, like sometimes it's when you have extension, it's really hard when you take a shower and
Oh my god, it is. It actually is. Just doing a bun up in my head is a little harder because it's heavier. So that's why when I had them on, I wouldn't do that much updos anyway. I would just let it down, curl it, or straighten it, and that would pretty much be it.
By the way, before I forget, you said that you were studying. So what were you studying specifically? What course is what major?
So I am finishing my bachelor's degree on medical technology. I started doing it on biology, but later on, while I was almost finished, I decided to change. And I had the credits already to go into medical technology. So I decided to do it. I applied and I got to the best medical technology school in Puerto Rico, which is something I'm very proud of. And so I am pretty much 3 classes away from finishing all the theoretical part, and then I think it's about 600 hours of practice hours in the labs. So I'm almost there. I'm almost done. I would have been done, but Supra came along.
That's okay. Opportunity came, and still the study was able to wait, and now it's paying off.
Yeah, I have a question related to that.
I was actually this close to not going to Supra because I wanted to finish my studies first. This close.
I think that's what Drew is going to say, right?
Yeah, I have a question related to that because in your video bio in Miss Supranational, you said that you almost gave up studying about medicine. So, until you became a volunteer during the typhoon, Hurricane Maria. So, can you tell us more about that and the change of heart?
Yes. So I was in biology because I wanted to head on to med school. Later on, I decided to still be on something in med school, well, medical related. I'm still not sure if after I finish my bachelor's degree on medical technology, I'll go on into med school because I have a lot of interests right now. But I still want to finish there. And the reason I decided to continue on to something that was related to medicine was because I was able to live like how grateful people are when you help them out. For the Hurricane Maria, I was as a volunteer translating in we had this disaster teams that came on from USA. And I worked with several different groups of them because they changed them every 2 weeks or so. But the people were so grateful that we were just translating to them whatever the doctor was saying because they spoke English. And to be very honest, even though we are a U.S. territory, not all of the population in Puerto Rico know 100% English or are very they don't really understand all. They can sometimes get a little bit of it, but not everything. So we were there to help them out. And people were grateful, even though I was just the volunteers, most of us were all aspiring to get into something for med school or whatever specialty you wanted. And the people would say to us, "Oh, thank you, doctor." And we were like, "Well, not yet, but thank you for that." So how grateful that people were, the blessings all the time that people were like, "Oh, bless you for helping me," and all of that stuff were the things that were eye-opening to me. And I was like, okay, so I'm really caught up for this. Oh, and seeing the things I saw and not fainting. So those were the things that I was like, okay, so I'm ready for this kind of job. I like what I'm doing and what I'm seeing, and I like helping out people. So that's why I decided to stay on the path to get to somewhere on med.
Yeah, so that's a great story.
That's something that we really didn't know, and we were able to dig deeper because, of course, during the pageant, not all stories are being told. So now is really a perfect opportunity for you to share that part because I personally didn't know about it. I just knew the tip of the iceberg, but there's really more story into that one.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Literally all the things that I was doing while in Maria, besides trying to get back to work while it was kind of opening up as little by little, all my free time was spent in the hospital there helping out, volunteering. Since I started to, then I got more hours in my job and I couldn't be there that much, so I decided to just put a stop to it. But it was very interesting. I saw a lot of cool things.
Okay. Now, Valeria,
cool
before we... I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that cool if you're into meds. Some people will be like, ew, gross or something, but I was like...
Okay. Valeria, before we move forward to pageant-related questions, we want to hear any message from you for those, for all the people who are facing global pandemic right now. Any message?
Well, basically to just stay as calm as possible. I mean, eventually everything will blow out and we will be back to normal little by little. But we just have to be patient and really get into the rules and listen to what experts are saying. Not everything that you see on Facebook or Instagram is real, so you have to find the real source. But use your masks, use your hand sanitizer, and even more important than using the sanitizer, wash your hands, because that's even better. But yeah, I mean, it's just about being patient and waiting for it to just go away, or for a vaccine to come up, or just something that will bring us back to normal.
Yeah, I'm coming from a medical technologist in the future. By the way, are you going to become a doctor, Valeria? Is that the long-term plan or what?
It's part of my plans, but I mean, I still have to wait it out and see, because I have a lot of more things that I'm interested in. Okay. So sadly, I do not have a double, nor I don't have the power to like multiply myself into multiple people and do them all. But we'll see.
You spoke that advice from a medical point of view. Trustworthy.
Yeah. So now, a year before you competed in Supra, you were volunteering for Hurricane Maria, and then almost a year after, you were competing in Supra. So, what made you decide that you really wanted to join beauty pageants?
So in Puerto Rico, the beauty pageants and the modeling industry are a little bit like together, even though they're very different. Yeah, they're connected. Even though they're apart and very different, they're somewhat connected, because all the girls that are models usually know who are the queens, and we all pretty much know each other every now and then from backstage or whatever. So we know who we are. So I've been following pageants since 2012. I think the one that I follow the most, well, is the most common one, which would be Miss Universe. But then on, I learned about the other pageants that are in the industry, and I've always liked, from all of them, I've always liked Supra, because people say that it's more like model-ish, though it's changing. But people say that usually Supra looks more for like a model type, and it's not so Miss, it's like a mixture. So I've been always interested in it. And I've always had the approach to join pageants, but I was never confident enough to do it, because I thought that if I had the full time to prepare myself, I would do it. If not, I was not going to do it. And so then came along my national director, Miguel, and asked me if I wanted to join. Well, he asked first, like, it was a weird thing. Like, he talked first with my agent from my agency, and saw if I was interested or somewhat, because he had only seen me in runways, but never had met me nor talked with me. And my agency director was like, sure, yeah, let's meet up, let's set up a meeting, let's interview her so you can see that she can actually do it. But first, I was supposed to go to Top Model of the World. That because my national director has that license too. So he first offered me Top Model of the World. Then after our meeting, everything changed. And he called me later on and did like this very bad joke, because I was still meeting him and he was pranking me. But he said, oh, Valeria, I cannot send you to Top Model of the World because I think that you are not worthy of it. I was like,
it was actually a good decision, because you just won the title of Miss Supranational.
No, the Miguel was just pranking her. He was
pranking me. He was pranking me for Top Model of the World. He was like, no, you're not worthy to go as Miss Top Model of the World, Puerto Rico. I was like,
what?
But in my head, I was like, but our meeting went so well. Like, what is happening here? And then he was like, yeah, but anyways, we still want you to work with the organization. And in my head, I was like, doing what? and immediately he said, yeah, as our Miss Supranational Puerto Rico. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, no way. So of course I said yes. And we started working towards it, and then I got to Supra.
Yeah, you deserve it. Really deserve
Supra
it.
and Jarelis got the Miss International Puerto Rico. The two of you, right? You and Jarelis.
Wait, repeat the question.
I'm sorry. You as Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, and then Jarelis Salgado was the Miss International.
Yeah.
Two of you.
Yeah, I'm curious to know because usually girls who first went into modeling and then pageant say that they had sort of a lot of hard time transitioning from modeling to pageantry. So was there also a same experience for you?
Yes, it was. I mean, at least for the runway part, because of course, if you see my runway on the pageant, I am not like this super Miss runway. Like I don't do a lot of the hip movement. I didn't have that much classes to prepare myself and change my runway because I was studying a lot. So it was a little bit hard for me to find time to practice my runway. But definitely, I think the biggest difference is that the runway part. And I've always said that in modeling, you pretty much sell the clothes that you're wearing with attitude and that. But when you're a Miss, you're pretty much, I don't like to say it like this because it sounds weird. It's not like selling yourself. It's like selling the brand that you're working for. Like you're a role model or like a spokesperson for a brand. So it's totally different. It's not just about what you wear. It's about how you are, what you represent as the organization. So it comes with a lot more work than just trying to sell the outfit that you're wearing. But definitely the runway was the hardest part for me. The rest, I'm just like this, as you can see. Like I'm social butterfly.
Drew actually heard a lot of stories about models could easily transition into beauty pageant.
And that is two different things, actually.
From beauty queen to transition to modeling, it's really hard, especially here in Japan. If you have like a background of being a beauty queen, usually modeling agency will just like cut you out because they already because they know that a beauty queen is different and then a model is different, really different. So yeah,
I feel like it's a lot harder to change from model to queen than to queen to model.
Well, yeah, but because a beauty queen is not really a profession. Like you will get it for 1 year. Modeling for some people, for some women especially, it's really a profession. It's like it runs after 1 year, 2 years, or even longer, right? So it's sometimes they really have to choose whether to pursue beauty pageant or just to totally pursue modeling and forget about beauty pageant at all.
Okay, now we move forward to questions that is related to Miss Supranational because I am more excited about asking those questions.
And Andre, probably, maybe Andre is watching. Shout out to Andre Slay. Hello, Andre.
Okay, Valeria, I just want to ask, during your Miss Supranational competition, who was your biggest competition?
This will sound like a typical Miss answer. But definitely, I think that the biggest competition I had was myself. Not only the girls. Wait a minute, wait.
And that's the correct answer. Don't worry, Valeria. That's the correct one.
Because honestly, like all the time, it's a little bit harder for you to like keep yourself going and like not hear rumors, not let yourself focus on whatever top or hot pick came out. Oh, hey, hi.
Hey.
Not let yourself get like too frustrated if something happens during the competition that you were not planning. So I think that keeping yourself like in track and doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, it's a lot more harder than just like seeing, oh, this girl has better hair than me, this girl has a better face than me, this girl has a better runway than me. Of course you can kind of like notice them, but definitely I think the biggest competition was me to myself.
Very good.
Yeah, same thing that I tell almost everyone in the beauty pageant industry, the girls that I train and then I talk to, like, your biggest competition is always yourself. And
definitely
you nailed it.
But I'm just also curious, if not Valeria or if not Miss Puerto Rico, Who do you think?
Well,
yeah.
there were a
Still
lot of
win.
girls that were very good. Like, of course, we all know Venezuela was very good. We also know Philippines was also very good. I also told my national director, he can confirm that I told him if Supra wants someone that's very spokesperson and like really doesn't have like it's not shy about talking to people or like going out there and it's like a very social butterfly, then USA talks more than me. And he was like, how can you say, like, really? USA talks more than you? Because I talk a lot. Like, I talk a lot. This is why I love interviews. But definitely, she is a very social butterfly. She has obviously a very good runway and everything. So I told him that. And when at the end, it was just the two of us. When I finally talked with him, he was like, oh, you were so right. I was like, I know. I'm seeing it.
Well, actually, Valeria, I really appreciate because you're one of the most well-spoken beauty queen from Puerto Rico.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I think that's one of the few things that pageant fans do not know, because we only see Miss Supranational in photos and a few videos during that time. But most pageant fans didn't realize that most of the girls in the top 5 are actually like to coin your term, social butterfly. So I think Miss Supranational is gearing towards that direction where they want a queen who is more sociable.
I think it has been like that since 2016, if I'm not mistaken. You know, with Srini D, and then came Jenny Kim, and then Valeria. Like a lot of pageant fans did not see, like us, for example, we do not see exactly what is going on behind the scene, except when Boston tells us something. You know.
This is what I tell the girls all the time when I was like going to national pageants, or if someone asks me for advice or something. Don't pay attention. I mean, sorry to you guys, you know, I love you guys, but don't pay attention to the hot pics that any social media could do. I mean, of course, in the case of Supra, well, we had Paui there and everything, but still, even though he's there, he doesn't see everything. Like, he's not in the interviews, for example. So they can see stuff, but they don't see everything that's going on, nor know exactly what the organization is looking for or wants. So don't let that get into your head. Like, don't turn your game off just because of it.
Sometimes we tell the girls, the pageant girls, right, Drew and Amir, like to the pageant contestants, the hot pics are not for you.
Intended for the fans.
For the fans, yeah.
But some of the girls are just so tempted to read it, you know, and see how they are ranking, right?
They went crazy whenever a hot pic came up, and I was like, "Oh, you sure? Okay, fine."
Everyone is waiting for that, actually.
It's like, oh, she's gonna win. I'm like,
even Pia Wurtzbach had to make a secret account in Missosology just for her to see what is going on and how people are actually relating.
Do you have an account in Missosology, Valeria?
Don't tell me you also have an account or some.
No, I use my real normal account. I use my real stuff. I don't.
Okay.
We have so many Puerto Rican writers and pageant experts who are actually really great contributors in the Missosology forum, and shout out to all of them. You know, they don't tell us the real names, but they are there.
Un beso enorme para todos ellos.
Yes. Drew?
And now, you were crowned during the 10th anniversary of Miss Supranational, and it was so special that the judges during that year were former Miss Supranational winners. So how does it feel to win the title in front of all those women who came before you?
I feel like it had more meaning, of course. I mean, I was getting the 10th crown. And I feel at the same time, since they have already been through the job, they know what goes down in Supra, and they also did our interviews. So they kind of know what you're looking for. It's not like when you go ahead into the competition with a judging panel that's full of random people or sponsors that maybe have a different view about what pageantry is about, or don't really get what the organization is looking for. So doing it with all of the queens, I think adds a little bit more meaning, and maybe in my personal opinion, I feel like it has more, how do I say this? More strength, more. It makes sense. The decision was like better. I mean, like, because they know what they're looking for. So I feel good that they feel like I was the one deserving of the crown, because of all the things that they had already seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think also that it was so special.
Yeah, it has more weight. I think that's what the word.
Yeah, more weight.
More weight.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
I'm curious to know.
I was like, we're thinking in Spanish. Tiene más peso.
I'm curious to know, because you've seen like 8 out of the 9 former winners during that year. Who among the winners, like when you saw her, you initially thought about it like, oh, she's really a queen? Like she had the aura of the queen. Who among the former winners?
To be very honest, this is not to like say anything about my sisters, but the only moment I saw them like up close was for the interviews, and to tell you the truth, I was not focused on that. I was focused on, since they were in groups, I was trying to focus on what I wanted to say, because we already knew what the questions were pretty much going to be. So I wanted to get everything straight in my head, because I knew what I wanted to say, but I was still having problems on the way I wanted to say them. So I did not focus on them. But at the end of everything, I loved, after it, getting to know them a little bit more. They're very unique. They're very different in their own ways. I loved, I spent a little bit more time with Karina, de Panama, from Panama.
Yeah.
And she was very sweet, very lovable, like really like right after I won and everything, and I was finally able to go eat. She talked me a little bit about how was it going to be. She was asking me how I felt and everything, so she was very nice. I also talk a lot with Jenny, and she has an amazing humor.
Yes,
so
she's funny. She is very funny.
Yeah, she's so funny. Like really, I was all the time laughing around her. She's ridiculously funny. But yeah, I cannot say like, oh, she looked more like a queen, because at the end of everything, they're all queens, and they look glamorous at every single moment.
Okay, Drew. So we move forward now. During the time you won the title, okay. So because for me, you're one of the most traveled Miss Supranational winners during your time. Okay, so among those countries you visited, which countries is most memorable for you?
So again, not a misanswer. But definitely, I have parts of every single trip that I remember a lot. For example, I always mention one of the things that shocked me the most was when I went to Indonesia. Like the pageant lovers, they're like crazy for all the queens and everything, and to see that people would take a little bit of their time to just bring you some little note of something written for you, or just a little gift or whatever, or just to see you on the lobby of the hotel. Like they even found out like the information and everything, and waited for us. It's like, to me, that's very sweet, and it was so surreal. Like I was never alone until I got up to my room and closed myself in it. So that's definitely something I will forever remember. Like I felt like a rock star.
Yeah.
You're a superstar there in Indonesia.
Yeah.
Especially in Indonesia, they are also pageant fanatic.
And they
are
very
so crazy for pageants. It's amazing.
So the Indonesians are big fan of Miss Supranational.
Yes. So definitely that's one of the things I remember a lot. Let's see, from South Africa, for example, I loved all the contact with nature I had there. They took us to like safaris and all this stuff, like to see the animals in like reservations. So there's a lot. Ooh, and in Ecuador, yeah, it was Ecuador. Yes.
Ecuador.
Yes, Ecuador. In Ecuador, there was like this orphanage, and we went there to see the work that they do and all of the things. And the little kids just started, like, as soon as I came into the room, they started screaming, "Queen, queen, queen, queen." So to me, I was like shocked. If you see the video, I'm here like standing still, like, oh, hi, because first of all, I was shocked, and second, I was on heels. No one told me to go on on sneakers. So the kids were coming to me, and I'm on big heels, and I'm like trying to not fall. But it was like, those are like little things that are like, they make a good impression on you. They leave a stamp on you. So I don't have just one. I have many from all my travels.
Okay, that's good to know.
Related to the travel, because I remember reading one article during your reign, and then you said that you never thought you'd be on the same stage as other queens from other international pageants. And then when you were in Indonesia, you shared the stage with the then reigning Miss Universe and Miss International. So how was the experience?
It was definitely a realizing moment. There is even a video of when I was doing my fitting for my quevaya, where I start crying because as soon as I looked myself in the mirror, I saw, like, besides the gown being beautiful, like, it was made for me because I am like one of the queens. So it was like a realizing moment, and then I thought, like, oh my God, I'm also on this trip, on this stage and everything, with Miss International and with Miss Universe. I am a queen too. So it was definitely one of the realizing moments, like, after I won, because, you know, like, it takes a little bit time to sink in. And in that moment, it was like, yeah, it's you.
Okay, I'm just also curious. How was the reception in Puerto Rico when you came back home after winning the title, Miss Supranational?
Well, definitely, sorry. Definitely, it was good. Not a lot of people here knew much about Supra, but as soon as I came here, I had media weeks. I was in Telemundo, in Univision. I was also there was also some other
TV channel.
Vocero, Primera Hora, like newspapers, like there was a lot of things going on. And it was amazing too that I got picked up at the airport by the official government cars, and I was taken to the house of our governor, and I had lunch there with our first lady.
Nice.
So, and they made a whole menu for me, so it was amazing. Like, the menu even had my name. Definitely, it was something that I was not expecting, but it was amazing, and it's kind of like strange to sometimes even get recognized on the street or hanging out. So definitely was a good thing. And then, of course, like, with Puerto Rico, like, having a new queen and everything, and then we only had the Miss Earth one left. Then Nelly's one. So yeah, I feel amazing being part of the history, and like, it was amazing to add all that attention, you would say, when I arrived. So Supra is now more known here.
How did your parents or your whole family react to your winning the Miss Supranational title?
So my dad is the most emotional one. He's the most emotionally attached to me. I'm a daddy's girl. And as soon as I called him back, when I got battery in my phone and I was in my room, he was crying. He started crying, and he was just like screaming. Then I spoke with my mom, and she was also very happy. They were both ecstatic and very sad that they were not able to be there. But things happen. I mean, but yeah, they were super happy. My dad even made a banner and put it where we live, like at the entrance. We lived in a closed gate place, and he put the banner in the front so everyone that drives by could have seen it.
Very proud dad you have there.
And now I'm curious to ask, because we always see the glamorous side of being a queen, but what do you think, in your experience, was the hardest part about being Miss Supranational? Like the challenging one.
Well, to me, it was doing my makeup every day. No, really. No, I mean, of course.
Was Andre helping you with your makeup?
No.
No, just kidding.
No. Definitely. Well, no. Like besides being a joke, it definitely was one of the things that was a little bit harder for me because I had to learn throughout the way. I was not as good maybe as I am now when I first won. I mean, you can see my makeup from my winning night. It was but
did you, by the way, before we go there, Valeria, did you do your own makeup for the night, or
yeah,
you did your own makeup? Okay.
Yeah, I decided to do it myself. Yeah.
No, continue.
So, but I think the hardest thing about being Supra, and maybe not only about being Supra, just in general about being a beauty queen, is trying to be always pitch perfect. And like even if you wake up in the wrong side of the bed or moody or something, or even if you feel bad, you have to just pretend that everything is fine and just with a big smile forget about everything that's happening and just go on and work. But yeah, because actually even in Vietnam, I don't know if you know, but in my trip to Vietnam, I got sick. We were in a press conference and I got sick there. I had shivers and everything, and Andre was saying, "Let's take you to the hospital." And I was like, "No, we need to do this." But after all, they took me away because I was like already like feeling too bad. But yeah, definitely it's that having to keep up like with an image and like all happy, all positive all the way, all the time, even though if you're not feeling like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Drew, can we read some questions from the fans right now?
Yeah, I'm actually reading some of the comments, and then there's this one named Stephen Vu, and he said, "I swear, if she has short hair, I thought she was Denise Quiñones."
Yes, you look like.
And I'm now seeing the resemblance.
I've actually gotten that before. I personally don't see it that much, but thank you, because I think Denise is gorgeous.
Okay. We also have a question here from a fans. From Ana Paula Cepedis, Miss Supranational Paraguay 2018. Her question is, do you miss her being your roommate?
Of course, she knows I do. She knows I do. I think, you know how when you're in like beauty pageants and everything and you're getting ready, they usually tell you to like be very careful with your stuff and like don't trust your roommate because you never know who can like maybe cut a dress or like do something to your stuff. But with Ana Paula, like from day one, it was like we were the best of friends. Like we had so much confidence in each other that even at like the second or third day, our luggage, we wouldn't put the locks on it because it was like whatevs. So we got along very, very well. Even now, every now and then we write to each other, and she even like sends hello to my parents, and I send hello back to hers. So she's amazing, and I do miss her.
I'm just curious. Who's your best friend from Asian? Sorry.
From Asia.
From Asian.
Wait, what?
Who's your best friend among Asian? Yes. Among Asian candidates.
I got along a lot with Jessa and with Wilda.
Oh, Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay. Indonesia.
And Indonesia.
No,
yes.
I was just asking if you had a chance to meet with Ana after Miss Supranational.
Not yet, though.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's okay.
But we've talked about it. But yeah, I mean, I was traveling a lot with Supra, and now when I'm finally based home, I was studying, and then suddenly coronavirus decided to appear. So
that's true.
Okay.
I read another comment here. His name is Joselo, and he said, "Proud Tio."
That's a Tio. That's a Tio de las Reinas. He is a very good beauty pageant page here in Puerto Rico. He supports all the queens all the time, and who is actually from all the pages in Puerto Rico since day one, as he knew that I was Miss Supranational Puerto Rico. He said, "You are going to win." I was like,
wow.
You think so? Yes, you are going to win, and Miguel chose a very good candidate. I was like, well, thank you.
No,
Yeah, and
yes, Drew.
yes, Amir. Yeah, and related to that, there was a question that I got on Instagram last night, and the question goes like, how does it feel to be part of the history of the beauty queens of Puerto Rico?
It's amazing. It's crazy to think that we have so many queens. I mean, of course, I know we are the island of enchantment, so hello. But no, but definitely it feels amazing to even think that I'm part of all of that. I'm part of like the 5 grand queens, and like even if you count the other pageants, like how they say like the 7 other like the 7 queens. It's crazy. It's crazy to see that we have crowns in every single pageant.
Yeah, for a very small island in the Caribbean, you have probably the most number of crowns per land area, per square meters. That's actually quite a feat. I'm so impressed about Puerto Ricans, about Puerto Rico in general, because, you're really very small island out there, and you have produced like so many winners, and it's one sash name that we always look forward to in every pageant, be it Miss Universe, Miss Supranational, Miss World, Miss International. It's really a very strong sash.
Yeah, yes, pageant will never be complete without Puerto Rico.
I know, yeah. It's true. I agree with Amir. It's not complete because I remember in 2017 we didn't have a Puerto Rican delegate in Miss International because of Hurricane Maria.
Yeah.
So it was really very sad because you just won in 2014, but 2017 there was no Puerto Rican.
I think that one was Beverly, right?
Well, yes,
Beverly was supposed to go,
but she wasn't able to go. It was really unfortunate. But yeah. It's really sad not to have Puerto Rico in the roster of delegates.
Actually, I think that Supra had a Puerto Rico that year because Larissa, which was the one that went, was living in New York. She was living in New York, so she was out of all the mess, and they managed to send her. So yeah, and I think the only girl that was here in Puerto Rico that actually made it out was Brenda for Miss Grand, and it was mess getting her out of Puerto Rico. Like I've heard the stories, and it was very hard for that to happen.
Yeah, and I really want to mention it because one of the things that I admired the most in Puerto Rico was that earlier this year, all of the most important queens of the biggest pageants in the world, you came together for a fashion show. So can you tell us more about that?
Yes, that's called the Trans Fashion. It's been done, I think, for 8 years, if I'm not mistaken, and it pretty much involves all the models that are part of the runway. They are part of the LGBTQ community, not only trans people, but also gays, lesbians, like you name it. They do a casting and they, choose their models. So it was amazing. I mean, I'm very close to the LGBTQ community in Puerto Rico. Like I'm always up in their parties and all of their events. I'm actually looking forward for their Pride Caravana, like in the cars only, this year. But yeah, so it was amazing. It was actually a job done by Juan Colon, which is a designer here in Puerto Rico. He knows all of us from the modeling industry, so he just directly contacted us and insisted, because he was like, I told him, I can tell you in like 3 days or so, because I'm studying and I don't know what's going to go down by those days. So I'll let you know. And he was like very insistent. Are you coming? Are you coming? I need you here. I was like, okay, yes, I'll go. So it felt super good. And he got Nelly, Stephanie Del Valle, Valerie, Madison was in Universe, and me there. So it was very good. And he used us for an, how do you say this? An homenaje, homage.
To honor.
Honor, yeah, thank you. To honor Alexa, which was a trans woman that got killed here in Puerto Rico a few weeks before that. So they decided to do a whole honoring thing for her for the event and everything, and that's why we all in the pictures have like a little mirror with a letter that spelled out her name. And because the mirror symbolizes her, she always used the mirror to look behind who she had behind. So yeah, pretty much that. But it was amazing, and having all of the girls there was cool.
Okay. I have to say, it was really talked about worldwide that I did not even found out about the news that you were all together in a pageant page. I found it out in the newspaper here in the Philippines. So that's how big the reach was of that event.
Oh,
it was
my
a
God,
business paper, yes.
I want a picture of that.
Maybe I can forward you the link to the article, but it wasn't the pageant page.
I want to see that. I want to say, hey, I was in a newspaper in Philippines with the rest of the queen.
Yeah. There's also a question from a fan. She's asking, for Valeria, what are your plans after the pandemic?
Well, I have to still finish off like 3 classes I had to put on hold when I actually went to compete. So I have to finish school and complete. But I was planning for this summer to go and search for agencies in US, in maybe Miami or Los Angeles. So I want to get more into modeling and more into TV and everything. So I gotta work that out. That's the next things on my plans. That's why I was saying that I'm not sure if I want to go to med school, because I have a lot of interests just outside of being a student and being in med. So yeah, I mean, that's the next stage, trying to find out my way in the entertainment industry.
Okay, Valeria, what do you miss most about Miss Supranational?
Andre and Gerhard. Both of them, definitely. Okay. I mean, I still talk with Andre pretty much all the days, and with Gerhard every now and then, but we still talk via Andre anyways. He's like, Andre sometimes is the messenger.
I mean, like, do you want Gerhard's number? I have his number.
No, I have it.
Just kidding. I have it.
It's just that he's not much of a texter. He's much of a talker, and I'm all the way like, I'm different.
Yeah, he's like a dad.
In relation to that, go Stephen.
No, I just wanted to say that Gerhard is like a dad, like a really
No, definitely. The other day he called me to just see like how I was, what was happening, literally like last week, if I'm not mistaken. And then he suddenly asked me about my love life, and I'm like, how am I supposed to do anything about my love life in the pandemic? I'm home. So definitely he is like a dad.
I was about to ask about that, because most pageant fans know him as the owner of Miss Supranational, but we do not know how it is to work with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he is amazing. Most pageant followers or pageant fans, don't know much about Gerhard, because he says he doesn't like to be on the spotlight. He's like, that's why I have a queen. Like, she's the image. Just like, no, not me. But he is amazing. He is very thoughtful. He's very much like a dad. He cares a lot. I mean, he's a great boss. I really could not have asked for a better boss, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice to know. Drew, you have more questions?
Yeah. And now I think we're now on the home stretch of our interview. So now that you've become one of the big, it's a more serious question now. So now that you've become one of the queens of Puerto Rico. So what advice can you tell young girls who might be watching this and who are interested in joining beauty pageants?
Definitely I say a lot, definitely. Anyways, to just like be very confident about who they are, and be very confident about the decision they're making, and to be sure that they are ready to pretty much be in the public eye. Maybe when you're a candidate, it's a little bit not as harsh, but when you win, it gets a little bit bad. So you have to be ready for it. You have to have a tough skin, definitely, and yeah, you just have to trust yourself, because a lot of people will try to put you down. A lot of people will say a lot of mean stuff. You will see a lot of hate. It's not always pitch perfect nor a pink world where everything is love. So you have to be tough, be confident, and believe in yourself.
Wow.
And another question: if there's one thing that you want to change in the way pageants are held in all over the world, what would it be and why?
Wow, that's a tough question.
That's the final question for Miss Supranational.
Yeah.
I would have blanked.
Just kidding.
No, wow. So in pageants, I think maybe the hate part. I mean, I'm not sure if that would be the answer. Oh, no. Okay, so not only the hate, but also the stereotype of beauty queens. I hate the stereotype of beauty queens. I hate that people think that just because I'm a beauty queen, I'm just like maybe an airheaded or something like that, or don't do much, or just like do things because it's what's supposed, like beauty queens are supposed to do, like charity and all of that stuff. And they feel entitled to just criticize you all the time. So definitely it would be that, the image of a beauty queen. That's what I want to change, and that's what I was actually trying to work with while I was with Supra. And that's, thank God, the image that they want to change right now, because Supra is going through changes. That's why also their slogan changed to aspirational and inspirational, because they want much more than just a pretty face or a pretty girl. So yeah, I think I participated in the right pageant in the right year to try and get that message out, and that would be definitely the thing that I would change, the stereotype of queens.
And I have to say, during this interview, you have proven that you are not like the pageant patty or the stereotypical beauty queen, because
Yes.
Wait.
you've proven during this interview. You've proven during this interview that you are not the stereotypical queen.
Oh,
You're out of the box, and I think
goal
you're the perfect.
achieved.
You were the perfect. How do I say this? Representation of the rebranding of Miss Supranational.
Yes, indeed you are.
Thank you. I mean, I'm very, like I said, I'm very grateful that I participated the year I participated, and that I was there at the moment, because I helped them throughout the changes that they wanted to. I worked a lot, like trying to change that image with Andre, and thank God we were aligned in the same image or brand, you would say. So I definitely was in the right moment at the right time.
Yeah. Bong is actually asking right now, aside from having a pretty face. Oh yeah, you know Bong, right? I mean, aside from having a pretty face, what is your beauty secrets?
Beauty secrets. Well, I don't use that much makeup, to be very honest. I am more of a natural girl all the time. I just decided to do my hair and makeup today because I found it like an amazing opportunity to practice, since I have an interview with you guys. But during the whole day, I try to be as natural as possible, because I feel like if you wear a lot of makeup, that just like deteriorates your skin. And my mom always taught me that if you wear makeup all the time, then when you actually do wear makeup for something that you want to impress people for, then it won't do anything, because they see you like that all the time. So I think that definitely that, and I am very, very picky with like how my skin is supposed to look. Since I'm always natural, I like to do a lot of like cleansings and like masks, and hydrate my skin and drink water to keep it healthy. So I think just the basics, but I think them not wearing that much makeup helps a lot.
I just have to mention the screen behind Stephen is now showing your crowning moment.
Crowning moment.
I think you guys all froze for a second.
Okay. The
card.
screen behind Stephen is now showing your crowning moment.
I'm gonna show it this way. Hey, I have to speak so that if I don't speak, then it won't show. You know, it's here at the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have a question related to that. So how has Miss Supranational changed your life?
Well, for sure, all the traveling I did showed me a lot. Definitely the girl, oh my God, I have to stop saying definitely. The girl that started up the year as Miss Supranational Puerto Rico and then won the crown is not the girl that you're talking with right now, even though it sounds like a cliche. It's very much true. I traveled a lot, and I feel like when you travel, you grow because you find yourself in other environments and other cultures, and you just meet a lot of new things that just make you grow as a person. So I think that all the traveling that I did and meeting all the people that I met throughout the traveling changed me to be a better person and a much more knowledgeable, much more tolerant person, for sure.
And now I'd like to pass the mic to Stephen, who always asks this question.
I always ask this question to all of the beauty queens that we interview here, like, because this is something that I really enjoy knowing. You know, how do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, if everything goes well, I'm up for every single opportunity that I can find in entertainment, but I would definitely love to try something on TV, because as you can see, I love talking. So definitely, definitely, God.
Your first movie is entitled Definitely.
Definitely. So I would love to see myself, or I wish I see myself on TV and with a better modeling career, and of course, well, finishing finally my studies in medical technology and certified with a license and everything.
Okay. That's great to know.
I wish that all of those dreams of yours will come true. With your very good bilingual background, I think you are on the right track into becoming a star in the United States. You know, hopefully Hollywood will knock their doors on you. Not the other way around. You knocking your door to Hollywood, but it's Hollywood knocking their door on you. You know.
Okay, I also have a question for Valeria.
I hope.
Okay, now aside from being the first Miss Supranational from Puerto Rico, how do you want people to remember you?
Just pretty much as I am, just a normal girl that has a lot of dreams, a lot of aspirations in life, and like wants to achieve them. So if I can just be like that all the time and maybe inspire, hello, inspire other people to do the same, then I don't really care how they remember me, just as long as they do in a positive way.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. And finally, we have a lot of
giving all out my answers. My question and answers for top 5.
Maybe girls are already taking down notes and okay, this is how you answer questions.
Yes.
You're being asked like.
Yeah. And finally, just a shout out from you to all the Puerto Rican followers on Facebook, on Instagram of Missosology, who have been supporting you all the way ever since you competed in Miss Supranational.
You can say in Spanish, Valeria, it's okay. This is for your fans in Puerto Rico.
Wait. Oh, I think my dog, yeah. Okay. So, muchísimas gracias a todas esas personas tan hermosas de Puerto Rico, de la Isla del Encanto, que con mucho amor y cariño representé y seguiré representando, no importa qué. Gracias por todo ese amor y apoyo que me han brindado y que me seguirán brindando en todos los proyectos futuros que tenga. not only to the people that are from Puerto Rico, but also to all the pageant community, or even if you're not part of the pageant community, but somehow ended up on this live. Thanks for the love and support. And thank you for following throughout my whole journey. I hope that you continue on in it. And I hope that I can do a lot more things that you guys will maybe find inspiring to you. And just really thank you. I cannot find more words or better words to define how much I appreciate all of the love and support that I constantly receive in all the media platforms and even in person. So from the bottom of my heart, un beso from Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Thank you, Valeria. And I also want to thank you because among all the queens who follow Missosology's Instagram account, you're one of the most active ones.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Always the
You're
first.
breaking up, or is it me?
Hello. Okay. And from the bottom of Missosology's heart, we would like to thank you because among all the big 5 queens who have been following us on Instagram, you're the most active. Like always the first to like, always the first to comment. Never, you do not have a single bad blood in you. You're always cheerful. So we really want to thank you for sitting down with us for this interview, because we do not really know much about a queen unless you sit down and talk to them.
Yeah. The positive
Thank you for that. And
the positive vibe that you are sharing to everyone is so contagious. I really appreciate it. It seems like I can feel it all the way from Puerto Rico, you know?
Yeah.
It's perfect way to start a Saturday morning.
Well, also, thank you.
Yeah, I also want to take this opportunity to thank you for being one of the judges of the last Timeless Beauties of Missosology. Thank you so much for agreeing to that.
For participating. Thank you.
Thank you guys for trusting me in that job.
Yeah, who else to trust but a queen?
Oh, it's breaking up. Wait, repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, who else to do the job but a queen?
Of course. Especially if you have already finished your whole term, right? Your whole year as a
kind of spotty.
So before we finish up, I just want to give a shout out to some of our viewers. Hi, Krisa. One of Missosology's graphic designers. Also, hello, Francois, to Edge, to all our friends. If you want to watch, to all our fans, if you want to watch the past episodes, you can go to Missosology's Facebook page, our YouTube account. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And also, please follow Valeria on her Instagram account.
Can you mention your Instagram account, Valeria?
Yes, Valeria dot or period, how you call it, Vazquez with C and Z. Vazquez PR. Valeria dot Vazquez PR. PR. Said in Spanish. Well, I wanted to thank you before we finish. I wanted to thank you guys for letting me join the beauty talks. It's nice to finally meet more of the faces of Missosology. And in the case of Stefan, we'll put a face to the name. Thank you for the love and support. And to all the fans also, I already thanked you, but thank you again. And I enjoyed a lot all of this talk. I am very talkative, as you can see. I love it. I'm a social butterfly, so I enjoyed it a lot. And thanks for actually asking questions too that usually are not that much asked to me, like the thing about the Hurricane Maria and all of that. So thank you, and thank you for trusting me with your endless beauties, timeless beauties. Yeah. Judging. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Best regards to Miguel and to Desiree. You know, they always contact with them from here and then. So, and to all the beautiful people of Puerto Rico. Much love. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Valeria. Hope to see you in Manila. Hope to see you in Philippines.
Oh, I hope so. Crossing fingers on that. Bye, guys.
Thank you to Bong for
coordinating with you. He's the man.
Bong.
Teacher.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.